Hello and welcome to Lesson 12, Solving Problems. Problem solving is an essential skill in any professional setting. This lesson focuses on learning key terms for discussing issues and solutions, understanding how to use future forms, and mastering structures for presenting and discussing potential solutions. By the end of this lesson, you will feel confident addressing challenges and suggesting effective strategies. Effective problem solving requires clear communication of issues, proposed solutions, and potential outcomes. So this section introduces key terms commonly used in professional problem solving contexts. Let's take a look at some useful phrases. And let's practice. Match the vocabulary term to its definition. Let's take a look at the solutions. An issue is a problem or a concern. A workaround is a temporary fix for a problem. A solution is a plan or a method to solve a problem. If something is feasible, it means that something can be done within the constraints. If there is a challenge, it means there is a difficulty or an obstacle. An alternative is a different option or a choice. If something is effective, it has the ability to be successful or work well. If something is viable, it is a practical option that works in a situation. Let's complete another task. Complete the sentences using the correct vocabulary term. And let's take a look at the solutions. The solution to delayed deliveries is hiring additional staff. We need a workaround fix until we can upgrade the system. The current budget is too tight to make this option feasible. An alternative approach would be to outsource some tasks. This process has been very effective in reducing delays. A major challenge is coordinating schedules across teams. The software update is a viable option for improving efficiency. The issue lies in the supply chain interruptions. This solution is achievable within the current timeline. The proposed idea is not feasible without more resources. When discussing plans to address problems, it is important to use the correct future forms, will and going to. Each serves specific purposes, and understanding their differences ensures clear and effective communication. So let's take a look at some rules for using future forms. We use will for spontaneous decisions, meaning the decisions made at the moment of speaking. For example, I'll take care of this issue right away. So this is something we spontaneously decide to do. We also use it for promises or commitments when we want to indicate that there is a certainty or intention related to something we want to do. For example, we'll resolve this by the end of the day. Then going to is used for talking about plans or intentions, but only those that are decided before the moment of speaking. For example, we're going to reallocate resources next week. So this means we made a decision to do this before we started talking about it. And we also use going to talk about predictions based on the present evidence. So when there are signs in the present that something will happen in the future. For example, the server is going to crash if we don't fix this soon. So we can now see that there's something wrong with the server, and we concluded that something is going to happen to it soon. Let's practice. Fill in the gaps with going to or will and the correct form of the verb in brackets. And now let's take a look at the solutions. The client has raised concerns, so we are going to schedule a follow-up meeting next week. Here we use going to because we decided to do this before the moment of speaking, so there was a debate going on before this. I will send a revised proposal to you by the end of the day. I will, so maybe this is something I decided in the moment of speaking. We're going to launch the new product in Q2. The marketing team is already preparing the campaign, so this is all part of the plan decided before the moment of speaking. I believe this strategy will help us achieve our sales goals. So it will help us. This is my belief, my personal belief about the future. For that kind of a thing, I use will. Our team is going to attend the conference in London next month. It's already confirmed, so obviously the decision was made before we talked about it. Don't worry, I will handle the client's requests personally. So this is a decision made at the moment of speaking. If we don't address this issue quickly, it will affect our reputation. Now this one is a part of the first conditional. We have a condition and the consequence. That's typical structure for the first conditional, and we use will to make a sentence in it. We're going to implement the new software by the end of the quarter. Everything is arranged, so the decision was made before the moment of speaking. Do you think the supplier will agree to the new terms? This is a question about the future. We're asking for the personal opinion of somebody about the future, And now let's complete another task. Complete a text. Fill in the blanks in it using going to or will and the correct form of the verb. And let's check this one too. Next quarter, our company is going to focus on improving customer retention. The marketing team is going to develop a loyalty program to encourage repeat business. They've already outlined a strategy, so it's definitely happening. We're not sure if our competitors will respond by launching similar programs, but we will stay ahead by offering unique benefits. The management team is going to review the progress monthly to ensure success. Additionally, we are going to introduce new training for the sales team. This is expected to increase efficiency and boost performance. By the end of the quarter, we will analyze the results to decide on the next steps. When addressing problems, clear and professional structures ensure logical proposals and encourage collaboration. So in this part, you will learn phrases for proposing solutions, evaluating options, and requesting feedback, helping you communicate effectively in problem-solving situations. So let's take a look at some of the useful phrases. If you would like to propose a solution, you can say, "Let's try this approach," or "What we can do is reassign resources," or "How about we explore this option?" Or one solution could be adjusting the timeline. Or maybe we might consider using a temporary workaround. If you would like to talk about evaluating solutions, you could say, "This seems like a feasible option." Or "The proposed solution could work if we address the budget constraints." An alternative approach might be outsourcing. Or "This option might not be practical in the short term." If you would like to request feedback, you can ask, "What are your thoughts on this solution?" Or "Do you think this approach would work?" Or maybe, "How does this align with our priorities?" Or "Is this something you'd support?" And now, let's practice using these phrases. Fill in the blanks using the appropriate phrases, and remember, each phrase should be used only once. Let's check. How about we explore this option to streamline the process? What we can do is reassign resources to ensure timely delivery. One solution could be adjusting the timeline to accommodate client requests. We might consider using a temporary workaround until the system is repaired. Okay, now let's do one more task. Complete the dialogue. Fill in the blanks using the exact phrases from the key phrases list to create a complete and professional dialogue. Let's see some possible solutions here. What we can do is reassign the extra staff to this project temporarily. That sounds reasonable. How does this align with the team's current workload? We might consider using a temporary workaround until we have a long-term solution. That might work. How does this align with our long-term goals? How about we prioritize the most urgent tasks first and revisit this next month? Effective problem-solving meetings are the cornerstone of addressing challenges in any professional setting. This article offers actionable strategies for conducting productive meetings that lead to actionable solutions. Let's take a look at it. And if you would like to listen as you read, open the audio file of this article in a new tab. And then let's answer some comprehension questions. Let's take a look at the possible solutions. Why is it essential to define the core problem during problem-solving meetings? Well, defining the core problem ensures everyone is aligned and working toward the same goal. How does encouraging open discussion lead to better outcomes? Open discussion encourages the sharing of diverse perspectives, leading to innovative solutions. What is the purpose of assigning roles in a meeting? Assigning roles ensures accountability and smooth execution of the plan. Why is following up after a problem-solving meeting important? Well, following up allows for monitoring progress and adjusting strategies as needed. Which strategy do you think is most important and why? Here, the answers may vary. For example, you can say that defining the problem is most important because it sets the direction for the entire meeting. Finally, it is time to practice. There is a writing task for you first. Write a detailed action plan to solve a hypothetical workplace problem. Include the issue, the proposed solutions, and the responsibilities and deadlines. Next, there is a speaking task for you. You should prepare and deliver a short presentation on a professional problem-solving scenario. Follow these steps. First, choose a problem. For example, it could be a delayed project timeline, limited budget for a marketing campaign, or maybe a technical issue affecting operations. Then, outline your presentation. Describe the issue, use the problem-solving vocabulary, then propose the solutions, applying the structures that you learned, such as let's try this or what we can do is, and then present the plan. Use the future forms, use will or going to, and so on. Finally, invite feedback. Your presentation should last 2 to 3 minutes. Focus on clarity, professional language, and confidence. Don't forget to record yourself if you would like us to check your presentation. Finally, there is a fill-in-the-gap paragraph. Complete it using vocabulary and grammar from this lesson. This is the one we can check immediately, so let's do that. The main issue is delayed responses to client inquiries. To address this, we are going to implement a new ticketing system next month. Additionally, the team will train on using the software by the end of the quarter. A temporary workaround involves reassigning staff to handle overflow. If this doesn't work, we will consider outsourcing part of the workload. The solution seems viable given the current resources, and it has the potential to be effective in the long term. Our alternative plan includes increasing team capacity if required. Addressing challenges in the workplace requires not only creative thinking, but also effective communication and collaboration. So this lesson has provided you with the tools to identify problems, propose solutions, and create actionable plans using professional language. By applying these tips, you can confidently navigate problem-solving scenarios and contribute to successful outcomes in your professional environment. In this lesson, you learned key vocabulary for discussing problems and solutions. You learned how to use future forms to propose and outline plans. You learned professional structures to present and evaluate solutions. Finally, here are a few reflection questions for you to answer. Which problem-solving strategy do you find most useful? How can future forms improve your ability to outline plans? And what will you do differently in your next problem-solving discussion? Thank you for watching and see you in the next lesson.